going to tell you about how I got from Dublin, Ireland, through Belfast to Glasgow, Scotland, by train, bus, ferry, and back on the bus. Maybe people in the UK take this kind of inexpensive, efficient, and pleasant transportation for granted, but this was a new, wonderful experience for me. This was my first ride on a European train, and it was so nice. I booked an Irish rail train from Connolly Station in Dublin, which was about 3 minutes walk from my hostel. I took the train to Belfast, Northern Ireland. There are several trains leaving at multiple times during the day. The cost was about 17.5 euros for the flexible ticket, and that converts to about $20 in US dollars. You can get a first class ticket for 33.5 euros, but the ride is only 2 hours and 10 minutes, so I didn't get it. The train ride had distinctive and beautiful views of the coast of Ireland. There's a snack cart if you need something to eat or drink. There are a few stops along the way. If you're enjoying travel tips like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. When you leave Ireland and enter Northern Ireland, you are entering the UK, so it's necessary to get an electronic travel authorization, or ETA. The cost is currently £16 or about $21.5. I applied for this online well before I traveled just in case there were any problems, but it was approved in just minutes. The electronic travel authorization is good for a visit of up to 6 months and lasts for 2 years. I arrived at Belfast Grand Central Station. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time to sightsee in Belfast, but I did walk around a little bit. I had timed my arrival by train to coincide with getting a bus to the Stena Ferry. So how this works is you take a bus from Belfast Central to the ferry. It's only about a 15-minute drive, and the company is called Hannon Coach. The bus drives onto the ferry and parks in the belly of the ferry, and then the passengers and driver get out and go walk up to the lounges. And you take the ferry across the Irish Sea. We landed in Cairnryan, Scotland. The ferry ride takes about 2 hours and 15 minutes. As I mentioned in a previous video, I get motion sick easily. I learned on this trip that non-drowsy Dramamine with ginger is very effective for me. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I find it more effective than the prescription motion sickness medicine I had had when I went out to Galway. Another trick I had learned from a fellow traveler is to take the medicine the day before you travel so that it's really in your system. I took the Dramamine the night before because it stays in your body for 24 hours. This worked beautifully for me. So I highly recommend doing that. The crossing on the ferry was very smooth, so that helped too. And as we prepared to dock, all of the bus passengers went back to the bus. By the way, I had also asked permission when I made the reservation for the bus to sit at the front, and that would help with my motion sickness. The bus driver drove off the ferry and up to Glasgow. That drive was just under 2 hours. The cost for the coach ferry coach with Hannon and Stena was about £45 or $60. It was truly a great way to see so much of the countries as we drove through. The bus took us straight into downtown Glasgow, and I was just a few blocks from my hotel. I'll give you a tour of that later. The total cost for this day of travel was $80, and I got to see so much of Ireland's east coast, some of Northern Ireland, and on into Scotland. Right now, there are some killer deals on air flights between cities in this part of the world. So if you need to save time and get there in a hurry, you can definitely get a flight at a good price. However, I really wanted to enjoy this journey and explore all of these different modes of transportation. Getting there is half the fun, as they say. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll know when the next travel tip drops. And leave a comment about your favorite journey if you have some memories of those. I appreciate your time. Thank you.